Assalamu alaikum. Welcome. We're going to get started in just a little while. I'm just making sure that we have all our points pulled up. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome. As soon as we get a little bit more people in, we're going to go ahead and get started. I thank you. Please hit the like button, please. Hey, how you doing? What is it? KM 2025K. Nice to see you. I'm good. I'm good. I've been running all around. I've been running to the store, grocery shopping. I've been doing everything. Salam. Assalamu alaikum. All right, guys, we're going to get started. We have our group today. How are you guys doing? I'm so happy to have you here. And we're talking about these narcissists that want to make chosen ones think that they are, you know, supposed to be broke. And I'm going to tell you how they put you in that perspective. So a lot of people, they get in touch with me and they're like, well, you're supposed to, give me your services for free because, you're talking about the Bible or you're talking about the Holy Quran. In reality, it took me years to study all of these kinds of books. It took me years to study these kinds of herbs in order to bring you a product that would cleanse negative energy along with the holy books. There are things in the holy books that we can use to cleanse negative energy. And this is what we have been teaching. This is what we have been studying. So I wanted to let you know how these narcissists use these practices, belittle you, men and women. Please hit the like button for us. It helps with the algorithm. They want us to believe that we're supposed to be inferior to them. We're supposed to give them our money. They're supposed to be able to siphon our energy. So, in many ways, I've had to cleanse a lot of my clients from this negative energy and detach my clients from this negative energy. Hi, I think it's Zoo3, Zay U3. Hi, Zay U3. Nice to have you here. Uh, I don't know what that means, but please don't say that in here because I'll remove you. Okay, simply MRC. I kick people out, for being disrespectful. Okay, so this is how we have to make sure that we are able to cleanse our negative energy that they have sent to us, they have attached to us over time, so that we make sure that these people know that it's them. We know that it's the narcissist in our family. It has to be someone that is around you that is attacking you financially with black magic, with the evil eye, attacking your health. They're attacking you so that you will stay in a low vibrational state, but you will also stay around them so that they can keep tabs on you. So they know that it's working. They know that, if you're living in the same city or, 5 minutes away from them, they can always keep tabs on you because they've taken your personal items. That's why they are, exchanging, they're exchanging your financial energy for their bad karmic debt. I have cleansed a lot of my people, and when I cleanse them of the negative energy, they initially had to move away from, their own family members. Guys, hit the like button as you come in. I thank you. They had to move away from their own family because they were the ones who were siphoning their energy. They were the ones who had been attacking them all of their life, and they couldn't move away from them. They couldn't move out of the same house with them. In many cases, they had been bound, gagged, and tied. And this is what that means. They have been subdued financially. Oh, really? I'm sorry to hear that, but we know we have to move away from those, Gordon 7920. We have to move away from those type of narcissists, those family narcissists, those people who don't want you to elevate, who don't want you to grow, spiritually or financially or mentally. They don't want you to have any kind of strength. They're going to try to siphon all of that energy from you, so you're subdued and you have to depend on them. You become codependent on the narcissist, and they love to make you feel like, you're not supposed to have anything. You're too tired. Everything that you have is supposed to be theirs, and they have been siphoning your energy. They destiny swapped with you when you were a very young child, and you did not know it until you wasn't able to have anything in life, until you weren't, especially for the chosen one men, until you weren't able to move forward, in life and accumulate anything. Everything that you touch turned sour. Everything that you touch went bad. So we have to understand how to cleanse that. And it is a major way to be able to fast and pray when you know the person that is sending these attacks up on you. You have to know the person, because if they've taken something from you when you were a child, then 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be able to find that item. You're not going to be able to take that item back from them or remove it. You know, you have the potential. I know. You're welcome. You're welcome. And we're going to clean it up today. And I'm going to give you, many ways that you can, remove yourself from these narcissists that's attacking you financially, that have put you under that spell that, you'll just be in poverty all your life. You'll be in lack. You'll never be able to move forward without them knowing your every move or being codependent upon your family. So, like I say, many times for my clients, these people have taken things from them. When we start going over, their life in the life coaching sessions, they will let me know that their parents came in, and they were taking hair, they were taking socks, they were taking underwear, they were taking, all kinds of unmentionables, but personal items like fingernails. And a lot of people do not understand that when a person take your personal items like fingernails, then they can reap havoc on your financial life, because that's a part of your hand. That's where you get your money at. I help them with loans. Oh yeah, and that, and Gordon 7920, and that leads me to my other point, and I like what you're saying, because that is exactly what narcissists will do, to put you into a financial disaster. He said, I helped them with loans, and they left me to they left me to pay. Now I suffer. I can't be approved nowhere. So this is what they'll do to you. They want to give you their karmic debt. They want to give you their financial debt. They want to leave you in disaster, so that you will be at them. You will be, begging them the rest of your life. You will have to come and stay with them. They want to mess up your credit. They want to, make sure that you have all of these loans in your name. They want to make sure that you're in financial distress. So, in many cases, this is what I have to do in order to remove those types of negative energy from the client, from people who come to me with this problem all the time. Your financial energy is tied to you. It is dependent upon whether you know that this person has attacked you or not, or whether you're overlooking that fact because of the title that they have in your life, or the leverage that they have in your life, whether you live with them or not. But once you cut those cords, many times I have to cleanse them, with a cleanser. I have to cleanse them, with the 4 thieves vinegar. I have to cleanse them with some dark water that I've made, so that that negative energy automatically goes back to sender, and it is identifying those persons. I have to get this person to fast for 3 days, consecutively, 3 days, so that that negative energy is going to start to disturb that narcissist, because you're sacrificing to cut those cords that they've sent to your financial energy. Only after you cleanse this energy from those people who know you, who have taken your personal items, to send havoc upon your life. Only then can you start receiving the good energy, what God has intended for you, the blessings that are up on your life, because they have stifled you, they have blocked you, and in many ways, they want you to stay where you are. They want you to stay, in a state of being stagnated. They want you to be in that state so that you can be harmed. So in many of the cases, we have people who have good jobs. We have men and women who have the good jobs, and they cannot move forward in life as long as they are around certain people. When that is happening to you, you need to cleanse that negative energy. And one of the ways that we can do that, like I say, is by fasting, but also you need to be able to pray. You need to have a constant connection to God. Well, if you become addicted to gambling, then that's a problem, and again, I had talked about that on other videos, that if you're spending your money in an adverse way, other than what God has given you over into doing, you're not helping anyone. You're just being stagnant. You're stagnant, spending your money only on yourself, on miserable things. Then, that causes a blockage also on your money. You have to be able to give in charity and things of that nature. You're gonna change. You gotta open up your prayer life. You gotta open up your prayer life and pray more. Every time you feel like you want to play those slot machines, and I understand where you're going. I used to use scratch off tickets. And, I had to stop doing that so I could grow my business. Once I grew my business and I was able to see these people that was just siphoning my energy, that wanted me to stay around them so that they can wreak havoc on my financial life, I moved out from around those people. I kept it moving on. And I had to stop doing addictive patterns, stop doing addictive things, and cigarettes as well. That's also an addictive pattern that you can be in, with smoking cigarettes and scratching off tickets, a lot of things, drugs. We were talking about that earlier today. You will never have anything as long as you're engaged in something that you love more than God. And I have to say it like that. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for your support. Hit the like button as you come in. So we're gonna look at some verses, some things of the prophets, and how they were rich. A lot of them had jobs. A lot of the prophets had money, and we're supposed to have money. God is going to bless us when we move away from those narcissist people, when we identify them in our life, and when we stop doing toxic things in our life. So these are some of the things. And then at the end of our video, then I'll give you some of the things that you can do in order to draw the prosperity and money into your life. So we have here, and I have my tablet, we have some of the figures, the prophets of old were Abraham. And we know that, they had money because he had cattle and sheep and all kinds of stuff, because him and Lot, they both of them had money because they had cattle. So we understand that you're supposed to have money, and let's see what AI says for our video today. It says several figures who served as prophets in the Bible were also rich, including Abraham, Isaac, and Job, who were wealthy patriarchs, and Daniel and Joseph, who achieved high positions in powerful kingdoms. While many prophets were poor, these individuals showed that wealth and faithfulness were not mutually exclusive. So, as we understand this, that we are supposed to be blessed with money, when you move away from certain things, and if we look at these prophets that we are talking about, we're talking about Job, he had problems. He was afflicted. He was sick. His family, all of them were taken away from him, and he broke out in some kind of disease. So, all kinds of things have happened to the prophets, and God restored that back to him. There is no way that you are supposed to stay in that mentality that I'll always be broken, I'll always be sick, for 30 and 40 years of your life. Something is wrong when that is happening to you. Someone is setting up on you, someone is attacking you with lack, with poverty. Someone is impoverishing your next line, your generation. They're cursing your generation. So we have to make sure that we are praying against these negative entities, these people that have been inserted in our lives to, cast those energy hooks in us, who has, set up on us as energy vampires. So you've been set up by friends. Well, that's the best way, to ride along, Gordon, because at the end of the day, when people know your gifts, when people want your gifts, when people become um envious and jealous of you, then a lot of times they will set up on you and attack you. Friends and family will set up on you and attack you and create those cross conditions in your life. So you always want to make sure that when you see certain signs in your family, that you want to move away from them. And definitely when you see certain signs in your friends, you want to cut them off. You want to make sure, don't just move away from those friends. You want to cut them off. And for certain things, for family, you need to cut them off. So we don't play those type of games. And you was almost unalive. Oh no, you're gonna have to cleanse that negative energy from your family, and you're gonna have to move away from them, Gordon. Okay, so we have here, and I'm going to give you, you know, we have, it says Job was the greatest of all people of the East, with vast wealth and livestock and property before his trial. And then God doubled it after God healed them. So, these people had money, and God blesses the chosen ones with money. They've been telling, those tales that, they don't even know who chosen ones are. And, there are no chosen ones. All of us are the same. It couldn't be, because I was asking them on TikTok, then what have y'all been preaching about? What have y'all been preaching about all my life, all these years, if you're not talking about chosen ones? You're absolutely talking about, if you're talking about Jesus, you're talking about the chosen ones. So, and Jesus, they say that he was a carpenter, in the Holy Bible. And so therefore he had the means, he had a skill, even down to David. And I'm going off track now, and I don't like to do that. Yeah, you're gonna have to cut them off, Gordon. You're gonna have to. But David was a king, and this is how I'm giving it to you guys today, how to make sure that your money flows to you, because don't believe those people who have sent those attacks upon your mind to keep you in a low vibrational state, to keep you up under them. It doesn't make any sense that you and your father, or you and your mother, y'all live right across the street from each other. I've seen you all my life. It's time for me to see something else. I don't want to see you anymore. I got to move away from you. And that's how it should be. That's how it should be. Don't allow people to keep tabs on you, especially family members, when they have been sending these types of attacks upon your finances, and you don't know why you can't move right out from across the street from them. That's a tragedy. So a lot of the prophets had different kinds of skills, and again, David was a king, and he was wealthy, but he was also a shepherd too. So we have to understand, God blesses those people who are listening, who are in alignment with him, who are able to identify these narcissists, and set it on them, and get on their behind about their behavior, about their conduct, cut them off, move away from them, whatever you need to do when they're setting up on you and attacking you, trying to siphon your gifts. And all of these prophets were able to move away from these narcissists. They were able to tell them the truth about their behavior. And in some cases, these people were, even able to say, I don't even have to deal with you. In the case of Abraham, I'm not going to even deal with you guys. I'm not going to even deal with you because you tried to unalive me. My own father told me he was going to stone me to death. Really, is that what we're doing? Really? So before I get, upset because you tried to burn me to death, because of some idols that I broke. They got really mad with him. So, he had all kind of cattle, and he was a skilled rancher. Him and Lot, they were skilled. They had skills. So we're supposed to have skills. We're supposed to have money. God is going to bless us in our gifts when we are using them in the right way. And we have identified these narcissists who have been trying to mask our money like it's theirs, to make us beg from them, to make us, humble before them. Well, in many cases, Gordon, and this is one of those things that I'd like to teach about. In many cases, you're not going to get any love from those narcissists. They're not going to show you any love. Why would they do that if they want to siphon your energy, your financial energy, your health? You have to be okay with being isolated and moving away from them, because if you want to be a part of those type of people, they will say that you like being siphoned, you like being sick, you like being broke, and they're going to keep you in that state. It's very simple. You have to go and find, the soul family. You found me. I'm so glad that you're here, and all of you. I'm glad for all of you. Please keep hitting the like button, guys. I thank all of you as you come in. So we want to make sure that we are in alignment with what God wants us to be in alignment, the people that He wants us to be in alignment with. So, and again, I use Abraham. When Abraham left that toxic situation, that city, his people that were willing to unalive him, his soul family went with him. He got his cousin Lot to go with him. He decided to just, follow him, and he knew that he was blessed. So we're going to have our soul family. We're going to have those people who are on the same wavelength as we are. We cannot, continue to let these type of people siphon our energy. And I want to get to this before I close out here. I got to get my other tablet, guys. Give me one moment. And we have to make sure that we are doing the best thing for ourselves. Okay. And one of the best things that we're going to do is read Surah Al-Insan. Read Surah Al-Insan, and that's the man in the Holy Quran. And it will, give you your blessings. It will give you, the ways that God has blessed man, and is going to continue to bless you, and you want to be able to read those types of surahs over your life to promote abundance in your life, to promote prosperity, but it also breaks those attachments of those narcissists who are trying to keep your financial energy masked as theirs. They're trying to take your financial energy for theirs, and they want you to be codependent on them. So we want to make sure that we keep our financial energy. We fight for ourselves and we stand up for ourselves. We have to do this not only in our homes, but we have to do this with people in our community, on our jobs, because in many times they will try to take your ideas on these jobs online as content creators. They will try to take your content and make it theirs when, a lot of times they don't know the ins and outs of the process, and they're not able to follow through on these jobs or even here. So we have to make sure that we know how to cleanse this negative energy using the holy books. And again, I like to use Psalms, the 23rd chapter of Psalms. I like to use the 37th chapter of Psalms. We need to watch those wicked people consume away. They're not going to continue to spread themselves like a Green Bay tree in our lives. We cutting those people off. So that's how we're dealing with those people in the Holy Bible. We're going to also use, if we're unable to get away from these people. And I know that I have a lot of clients who are women who are unable to get away from, negative relationships, that feel like that they are supposed to keep them somewhere to stay. And I'm sorry that I have to put it like that, but this is what our society has given us. And I'm teaching them how to cut these cords on these relationships. And you should not be in a relationship with a apartment or property in your name if you're not married anyway. So, there's a difference when I say a relationship that's married and, a person that's shacking up and living together. That person has began to siphon your energy as a female. So we have to make sure that we are dealing with these types of people, these types of narcissists who want to mask our blessings as theirs. So these are some of the ways that I can do that spiritually with some of my clients. Start, give me one moment. Sorry about that. Get out of here. So, one of the things that we want to do is we want to use the olive oil. And I like to use 3 things in this money drawing olive oil, and it helps to cut those cords from narcissists attacking you. It helps you to cut these. I'm glad that I found you too. I'm glad that I found you. I'm so glad to have you, Gordon. So what we're gonna do is use your oil. You're gonna pray over your oil with Surah Al-Insan. You're gonna pray over your oil with the Bible verses that I gave you from the Holy Bible to set the tone and the vibration, for your oil or your water. And you can add a little salt to your water if you want to make it a kind of a holy water. But what you want to add to that is a little of the jasmine, and that's for the money drawing. That's to help promote the money drawing. And it can be, the little oil infusers, or it can be, the actual plant. So you can use that. And, we use the lemongrass, and that, lemongrass gets rid of negative energy. Now you have a two-in-one, money drawing oil that you can anoint yourself with. You can remove the negative energy that they are trying to attach to you and make you codependent on them. You're going to expose them when you anoint yourself, when you bathe in this kind of money drawing oil and money drawing water that they have tried to, make you codependent upon them. You're going to cut those cords from them. And I always have to tell you, if this has been a long time that you have been dependent and you have been set up on and attacked by these people, then you need to reach out to me in the description below so that we can get rid of that malignant energy that is stifling you, that's stagnating you off of your life. You can, make sure that you might need a cleansing, a purifying cleansing to go ahead and sever those cords, altogether. You might need to move away from those people who have tried to, stop you from treading the ground and put stagnation on your feet so you'll never be able to move forward in life. So these are ways that we have to understand that if it has been on us for a very long time, since we were children, if they have been siphoning our energy, then we have to go to a more aggressive way in order to remove that negative energy. But this is going to help you, make your oils, make your, cleansing waters, make your oils, pray over your oils and your water, get your lemongrass and get your jasmine and make your own money drawing oil and money drawing baths or water that you can use to sever these ties and draw your money to you as a two-in-one bath. I hope that this has helped you guys. I really appreciate you guys. Make sure that you're reaching out to me for all your spiritual needs so that if you're having these types of issues in your life, I can acclimate a gift to you and send it to your front door. I really appreciate you. You just bought some olive oil. Okay, that's great. That's great. So now you have a way that you can use it and pray over it and anoint yourself, and you can start to cut these ties from those narcissists. You've been struggling since you were 20 and you're 26 now. Okay. So, that's what, 6, 7 years now. So you really need to go ahead and do a cleansing. You need a full cleansing. Yes, please reach out to me. Reach out to me. And, all of my information is in the description. And I really appreciate you guys. I really enjoy every time on Tuesday that I'm here with you guys and we support each other. Please like, share, and subscribe. Book your life coaching sessions. Book your one-on-one sessions with me, your consultations. That's the quickest way to get in touch with me. All of my information is in the description. Leave a comment. I'm HighOracle, Reiki spiritual healer. You can also donate to me. Assalamu alaikum.